Standoff that's lasted more than 5 hours has a peaceful end in Elyria.
Around 1 p.m., U.S. Marshals took 46-year-old Dominic Marion into custody. Police say that he came out of the garage he had barricaded himself in on his own accord peacefully. For nearly 5 hours, tactical teams tried to convince Dominic Marion to come out of the garage. Finally, around 1 p.m., they were successful.
Came out on his own accord, surrendered to law enforcement peacefully. We're very pleased with this outcome. It's ultimately what we wanted.
Police tell us that he was wanted for federal probation warrants for an arrest related to weapons violations. It was when officers tried to serve that warrant, he barricaded himself in the garage. He then indicated to officers that he was armed. He communicated with negotiators consistently during the standoff before giving himself up.
Overall, he was very appreciative of the law enforcement, especially the negotiators that he had been in contact with throughout this particular incident. So expressed his appreciation and ultimately accepted responsibility and is ready to kind of take the next step and move his life in the right direction.
After taking him to custody, marshals briefly let him out of the car to speak to people he knew. Neighbors who know him as Nick were shaken up. They've known him for years and say he's always been a good neighbor.
He's been through some rough times, but you know, this isn't the way to go about taking care of it. You know, I feel bad for him.
They're great neighbors. They're good people. Nicky just got a little messed up. I mean, he'd give the shirt off your back. He's a hard worker, loving father, good son. It's a shame.
Now Marion is headed off to Cleveland to face his federal charges. As for here in Elyria, the Elyria Police Department said there could be further charges stemming from today's standoff, but mostly officers and neighbors are just grateful that this ended peacefully with no injuries. In Elyria, Catherine Huntley, 19 News.